So, welcome to Coffee Talk with Holistic Recruiters. So, before we get into today's topic, our today's topic is going to be how to successfully build a recruitment company in the UK. So, let me introduce myself. I'm the recruitment consultant / dispute officer for Holistic Recruiters. And towards my right, we have our director, Franklin Williams.
Nice to meet you all.
So thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to have this video. And it was a very, we have been planning this video for a very long time. So finally it's happening now.
Yes.
So before we get into, having a discussion, so to the viewers, it's going to be an informal discussion. So before we get into the actual topic and how to build a successful business, a recruitment business in the UK, I think we have to touch upon a very important fact, because most of the viewers understand what recruitment is, but they don't know in detail as to what entails to be in the recruitment business. So before we get into the main actual topic, can you explain to the viewers as to what is the business of recruitment? What are its types? A general brief on 360-degree recruitment, 180, permanent, temporary, and even executive search. A bit of a discussion on that so that they understand what recruitment business is all about.
Okay, to be honest with you, I think in a nutshell, you explain it all as well. As you were saying, in terms of recruitment consists on so many things, right?
Mm-hmm.
A recruitment for a company is whereby you are given staff, or you're giving us some sort of service or product to a client. In regards to what we do, we're talking about the service that we do provide in terms of recruitment. So you would have permanent recruitment, temporary recruitment,
Mm-hmm.
and you would also have temp to perms as well. You would also have contract-based recruitment, right? In terms of recruitment in itself as well, you would also have the 180, as you mentioned, right? The 180 recruitment of 360. So just for me to just explain how the 180 recruitment works. The 180 recruitment is whereby, as a recruitment consultant, you would have a client, for example. The clients, you might be able to get in a client to the company. For example, Holistic Recruiters, I have like recruitment consultants that some of them might do 180. So they just only bring in the clients, and then someone else takes over from there. So that is a 180 whereby they just only work with the clients, they bring the clients, or you could work the other way around. So the company brings in the clients, and then the recruitment consultant sort of matches candidates to the clients. Now, 360 recruitment, right? 360 recruitment works both whereby they work all around, so they make sure that they get the clients.
Mm-hmm.
While they get the clients and have those sort of relationships with the clients, they also obviously make sure they have a relationship with the candidates as well. So matching candidates with the clients. So that's sort of 360 recruitment and the way it works as well.
Which do you enjoy the most, 360 or 180? Personally, I feel 360-degree recruitment is the real hardcore recruitment, because you have to get your own clients, source your own candidates, try to get a deal. Yeah. But which do you enjoy most, 180 or 360?
All right. Before I answer that, because I know someone that actually said to me as well that they just prefer 180 recruitment, because in that way they didn't really have to, speak with clients. When you're speaking with client, it becomes sort of like a sales, right? But they didn't like doing that sort of sales side of things. They just preferred looking for candidates, doing more of the sort of the recruitment. But for me, I love speaking with clients, finding new clients, having different rapports with clients, finding out just new ways to communicate with people as well. Well, I like to pride myself I'm a salesperson as well. In everything you do in life, you have to sell yourself one way or the other. So I find it a bit enjoyable when I'm sort of communicating with people I've never spoken with before, basically.
Absolutely. And I think sales is one of the main criteria to be a recruitment consultant. If you are a good salesman, you can be a very good recruiter. If you are not a good salesman, I don't think recruitment is for you.
No, that's one of the things that people need to realize as well, that when you call yourself a recruitment consultant, you have to know that you need to love doing sales.
True.
And when we're talking about sales, you need to love doing cold calling, not just one calls, but also cold calls as well. You cannot shy away from that. It's something that you must have to do.
I think most of the recruiters, quit recruitment is because of the cold calling. I don't think most of the recruiters can take that no. But I personally you have to do around 100 calls, and in those 100 calls, it's going to be 99 no's and 1 yes.
Exactly.
So, and you just have to keep, grinding every day, hustling every day, trying to cold call, and, try to generate leads and try to get clients in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Now, as you said, sometimes I want to call you like be my man or something like that, Well, as you rightfully said there as well, is that some people are actually very negative, right? It's not, they don't have anything against you, but it's just in their nature to really say no.
Sure.
Right? Someone said that you can put people are so negative, you put them in a dark room and then they go bright. The picture comes out because they're so negative, right? So anytime that you hear no, just remember it's got nothing to do with yourself. It's not because of you lack a certain ability to be able to close deals. It's just because at that time they have no need for you. But if you do quit because you just had one no, or you give up because you're hearing so many no's, as you were saying, 100 calls, and then you might have just one prospect. Basically.
Yeah.
But if you only if you stop at 50 calls because you were hearing no and you stop, you'll not be able to get that one. And that one could be something that you need that could be able to power maybe for 2 months or 3 months. But
True.
if you just stop because of 50 no's, it doesn't really help.
The one phrase that every recruiter fears is we don't use agencies. Exactly. But if you try to get through that, and I think it's if you try to get through that, and if you get that client, right, that's the art of recruitment and that's the art of sales. Exactly. If you try to get through that phrase and try to build something, you have the done deal with that client.
Exactly. But I could also ask you the same questions, for example, that how do you feel right when you do close like a deal after a long while of trying to speak with clients and you hear so many no's and then you sort of get one. One thing
I learned from working in holistic recruiters is having that patience. It's going to take 99 no's, but you have to have that patience over a month. Like, for example, I got my first client in January, but I was able to seal that deal in Feb. I had to wait a month to get that first client and to go, basically seal that 360 recruitment. But one thing is, like, if you don't have that patience, you don't go nowhere in recruitment.
Exactly, that's the thing.
So I think I think it was a very good discussion about recruitment. So I think the viewers have understood what recruitment is. So let's go to the second part of the question now. Yeah.
All right.
So what are the things people have to figure out before building a business in recruitment? I think, like, when you started out holistic recruiters, you had to think about the cash flow. How do you market yourself? What is your niche recruitment that you're getting into? How do you sell yourself? What's your budget? How are the ways that you try to source candidates? There's so much things that you have to learn. Like, you have to go through trials before you get that elements together.
True.
How did you get through it, and what are the things that you need to figure out before getting into this business?
All right, that's a very good question. Some of these things I'm going to say, because I also do consultancy as well, people do actually pay me for this. But because obviously you decided to bring me on for me to sort of share some things in terms of the recruitment, and I'll just share a little bit of what people would normally pay for. So you can give Bhargav a big thanks for this. So when you ask me those questions, I decided to put some things down in regards to what, before we go to you having the recruitment business and getting the clients, there's some certain steps that you have to do. So the first step I would say to everyone that you need to do before you start a recruitment business is understanding, because we're talking about UK now, for example, right? Understanding the UK's recruitment market. You need to know your niche market. What do you want to do? There's some people that want, as they say, you become jack of all trades and master of none. You want to do everything, but then you don't have the specialized training or specialized way of working.
I think it's most of the recruiters, like, they don't even have the basic understanding of legal recruitment, but they'll be like, they got a prospect online and they'll be like, I'm going to do legal recruitment, but you don't even understand the basics of legal recruitment. Exactly. What qualifications that the students need to have, or what is the law firm looking into? And they're like, I think that's a wrong way of doing recruitment. Definitely. You just have to specialize in one or two max to max, and you try to build out a client base around it.
Exactly, because one of the most important things that people also forget to do is research.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
If you lose in that aspect, you start losing many things as well. because as you were rightfully saying in terms of the legal aspect of things, just because I said, okay, that is a hot cake right now in regards to what is reigning in recruitment, then I want to jump into that. But if you have not done your research to see what is needed, what job roles are needed, when they ask you questions as well, like the technical jargons, for example, if I would say, do you know what you can be able to reply to them that shows that, yes, this recruitment company knows what you're talking about because you're the first contact that they will speak with. You might be the owner or recruitment consultant, and whatever you say, they judge your company by that. And if you don't even know the key terms, the things that the key terminologies for the things that they ask for, it makes you look like, you know, amateur, you don't know what you're doing. So that's one of the things you need to remember. All this research before you want to start doing anything, any recruitment that you want to go into, basically, right? I could go more and more, or we can do this another day if you want, because there's so much that I can. If I wanted to do a breakdown, for example, of what people need to do, it would take a long time. So,
True.
you want me to go through, or you
so we can do this on a different video again. So
Okay.
we can talk about the cash flow, how to market yourself, how to invest your money, so properly, so that you get something out of recruitment.
Yeah.
And we can do a video on how to cold call as well, which is one of the essential skills to be a good, successful recruiter.
Exactly.
So we can do a video of all of that. So again, viewers, he's doing it for free. He charges actually to do all of that.
Exactly.
So thank you for that. So let's move on to the next question now. Yeah.
All right.
So again, in 360 recruitment, since holistic recruiters, we do 360 recruitment. We bring in our own clients, we bring in our own candidates, we try to seal deals with that. So again, when you come down to the very essence of recruitment, sealing deals is the end all of recruitment, right? We have to seal deals to get in money in coming into the company. But most of the recruiters, like, it's easy for you to get a client. What's hard for most of the recruiter is actually getting a candidate and sealing that deal. So when you started out holistic recruiters 10 years ago, what was the challenges that you faced for sourcing candidates, and what do you think are the best methods to source candidates for to seal these deals?
All right. Let me just understand your question, right? So you're saying what did I do in regards to what getting my first candidate?
Yeah, how did you source these candidates, and what do you think are the best ways to source candidates for, like, to seal these deals that we get?
All right. Okay, so in terms of sourcing candidates, right? At first, there are different platforms that you can use. When you're starting off, you do not have any brand. You don't really know you as much like that. So we're now talking about using the online platforms, sort of like Indeed, CV libraries, Monsters, for you to be able to sort of recruit people, right, for a specific role. But then when you keep now working with those sort of set of candidates, and they see the way you work, the value that you're bringing to them as well, just sort of showing sort of like transparency, integrity when you're working with candidates, they begin to start doing self-referrals to all of their friends as well. I can say we've been blessed in regards to when it comes to staffing, that people have just been sending us through word of mouth, people have been coming to register. And as I do say to my people as well, to my care coordinators, recruitment consultants, before we go out there to Indeed, Monsters, we already have our own sort of pool of staffs portfolios as well, that we can actually
a database of our own.
Database, right? That we can be able to just get people from there with different sort of experience, different sort of training as well. And yeah, that's how we sort of been building up.
I think the word of mouth is the best medium, actually.
Yes.
Like, comparing it to the other ways, we source candidates, I think word of mouth from our own database. Once we build out that database, it actually becomes easy to source candidates from.
Yeah.
It's just most of the candidates that we get are through referrals. We have this worker there in that area, so they just refer it to us.
Exactly.
I think it's the best way to get and source candidates from.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the key things that people actually sort of forget, and they sort of go over. If you do have already a data pool of staff, or if you do have that, don't dismiss it. You should be able to sort of, for example, I'll just give you a little way of doing it as well. It's like you can just call one of your staff and say, okay, you know what, we need a role to be covered in a certain region. Are you able to cover it? Or you know somebody that's able to cover it? And maybe 10, I'll say 8 out of 10 times, they might know people that might know people that can be able to cover those shifts. But at the end of the day, what we're looking for obviously is that they need to have obviously the right to work. They need to have the experience as well. The references obviously needs to be there. But most of the time we do
background check. That's the most important thing.
very, very important,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to recruitment.
True. And so with that question being answered, so let's move on to the fourth question. So any of the viewers who want to start a recruitment business, right? What would you suggest? Like, since you started out with the temporary side of recruitment when you started out holistic, what would you suggest for the viewers? Like, if they want to start a recruitment business, do you think they should start out the recruitment business on the permanent side or concentrate more on the temporary side? And why?
Okay, that's another good question again. If you are not very experienced, I would say you should start with more permanent than temporary. Some people say, why? Why is that? Because when it comes to temporary, you are dealing with so many other things. Permanent, obviously, you're getting the candidates and you're matching those candidates with the clients regarding what specific roles that the client obviously has asked to be covered. And once you've done that, you take your percentage cuts. Maybe you weigh up to like 3 months or a month to 3 months concerning maybe depends on the contract you have with the client. After that, you sort of wash your hands and you're sort of done. But with temporary workers, obviously you get charged or you charge the clients per day, per hour,
per week,
sometimes as well, depends. But then you're constantly working with the temporary staff. So you're covering in terms of pay slips, doing their payrolls, the management,
logistics
of everything as well. Sometimes they might even call you late at night because of, they've lost their way, that sort of things as well. You're dealing with a lot basically when you're working with temporary, because it's not just the staff, you're also working constantly with the clients. They can call you up for different things, even at night time sometimes as well. They need some shifts to be covered, which could be obviously great, but at the same time,
it's a 24-hour job.
24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Right, which is a good thing, but then you have to have the skills to be able to manage. You have to have the managerial skills as well to be able to sort of manage like the shifts that you're doing with the candidates and the clients. So I would say permanent for people that are just starting out, and then temporary for when you begin to find your way, and then you can also start doing temp to perms and contract based as well. And I feel like I think in the next video maybe that I might even do as well, I would love to break down permanent recruitment more into like more depth, into more detail, and temporary and sort of temps to perms as well. With the contracts.
So just to fit to the viewers is, if you want to work, he worked hard for 10 years and he did it 24. He worked basically 24 hours because holistic recruiters is built on the temp side more. So if you want to build your recruitment on the temp side, and if you're ready to work 24 hours a day, you start out with temporary recruitment. If you don't want to work hard, permanent recruitment is best for you.
Exactly. So you need to know what exactly you want to do. If you're the lazy self person, then you can only do permanent. But if you don't want to be lazy and you want to get more than 6 figures, then you should be able to do both and more, basically.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So Franklin, this is going to be my last question for this video. So in 10 years, you were able to build Holistic, a successful recruitment company here in Colchester in the UK. So my question would be, what skills did you master to build this company and build a successful holistic recruitment company like Holistic? What are the skills?
All right. Okay. Before I start with the skills, right? You just looking back, right, to when we started the recruitment company, moving down to Colchester because we originated from London, right? And in London, the diversity of people, there's so many different sort of cultures. Everyone, you've seen these sort of cultures before. But moving down to Colchester was a bit different, right? As I was saying in the last video as well, when you speak with someone on the phone, they like you as a person. They're like, okay, calm down. Let us have the meeting with yourselves. and then when you do come down, you're not the sort of person they're expecting, right? And you can tell like there's a shift in the atmosphere, should I say, in when they see you. So sometimes it doesn't work in your favor, and that was one of the things I had to deal with as well. Starting up because I had to sort of fight against the norm of, there has to be this sort of segment of people that can be able to do recruitment. And I just thought to myself, look, I need to also work for this certain region of people as well that are actually looking for work, but they're not able to find work. So what can I do to sort of make a difference? That's when I had to bear my skills. I've got a level 5 in terms of leadership and management, health and social care, and I've also got a management degree as well. And basically working on yourself, working on your skills, just to be able to move or fight against the norm, come out the box. Don't be the same that people see, because if I was doing the same thing as everyone else, I wouldn't be where I am today. And you were talking about what was the skills then that I led from it. Patience was the patience was the skill. It doesn't matter what kind of the degree or the trainings that I have. If I was not able to sort of have this patience with what was going on those days as well, sometimes it might still happen, but you learn how to deal with it, right? But I have to have patience in terms of speaking with candidates and clients. So I think we're talking one time as well, and we did say in terms of clients, you've spoken with them today, they might get back to you in the next 3 months,
5 months or 6 months.
5 months, right? When you don't have that patience, then that's when you miss out on some certain things as well, because you're just in a rush. Okay, this person is not really picking up my calls anymore. When I'm calling them, they just keep giving me excuses. I can't wait for them. Who do they think they are? I can get more of them. But in reality, we need them just as they need us as well. So we just have to have that patience, and that's the key thing. It doesn't matter what sort of training you have. Sometimes when you're not in that sort of scenario, everything goes out the door. All your training of how you can mobilize yourself, it goes out the door. But that patience is key.
So I remember so many times running to you and saying, deals not getting through and stuff. But what I learned in working in holistic recruiters is having that patience.
Yeah.
It might take you a month, 2 months to get that deal, to have get a client into the company, but you should have that patience.
Exactly.
If you don't have that patience, I don't think you can be a successful recruiter.
Yeah.
So it's about having that patience, hustling every day. So not stopping to cold calling every day, having that patience, working hard, and you're gonna get that deal.
You're definitely gonna get that deal. It's only just, as I keep saying, it's just lazy. Anyone that's lazy are the ones that would not be able to sort of get the deals, because then they just get frustrated. They give up too easily.
True.
As well. So it's just, as I say, as well as I say, that if the patient dog eats the fattest bone, right? So if you're always patient,
absolutely,
you would eat the fattest bone in the long run. So that's the main key that you just need to remember. I would also say as well that some people, just like myself, from different culture, as I say, different minority background, they might be finding it hard as well to start a recruitment business because of one issues or the other. But the thing is that you need to work on yourself, work on your communication skills, work on networking as well. You're able to network with people. You find yourself with different managers, different leaders, but the way you carry yourself is the way that they would be able to speak with you as well. So you need to carry yourself with integrity, respect everyone else as the way you want to be respected as well. But the most important thing, as I keep saying, do your research, know the niche of what you want to do, be educated in the things that you specialize, especially in those things that anyone else, so that whenever they ask you any questions, you know what you're talking about, and it's you that they come to. As a recruitment company, you need to be specialized in something, and that's what you need to remember.
Well said. I think, again, so all the viewers, just of it as, if you have the patience, get into recruitment. If you don't have the patience, recruitment is not for you.
Definitely.
And so let's end our talk for now, because he's a busy man and he has places to be. So
that's what I pay me for my time.
no, hopefully one day I'll be rich enough to pay you. So thank you for taking the time, Franklin. So we'll see again. We see you again. So if you want any new videos on any new topics that has to be made about recruitment, drop a like, leave a comment so that we can work on it and bring out a educational content video about it. So thank you for all the viewers. Thank you for Franklin, and thank you for Abdullah, who was on that side of the camera, who's helping out, helping
Our main media person.
our main media person for helping out bring this video out to you guys. So see you again in the next video, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye now.